You know, Jester, I was just thinking, this is Qualifier 4, right? It's the end of the qualifiers. Is this the last of them? Okay, so I can count to 4. That's a bonus. But after today, we'll know exactly who's in the finals.
That is true.
And this is our last best of ones round.
That is also true. You're on fire.
So from here on out, I'm on top of this. But
this guy knows his stuff, guys.
So much stuff. But I was just thinking, we're getting to the point where we can find out exactly who's in the finals bracket and who makes it, who's going to be competing for those, for those big prizes and everything. So this is this is getting to a point where it's getting really nail biting, really exciting. These are the top teams in the 4th qualifiers, seeing who's going to be going toe to toe in these finals. But like I said, still have a little bit of road to go. These two teams are no exception. We've got Team Omelette au Fromage versus Team In Arms We Die. They actually got it right.
The cheese omelette?
Yeah, Omelette au Fromage instead of Omelette du Fromage. That's wrong. It's the wrong gender.
Maybe they're Canadian.
No, Fromage is feminine no matter which country you're from, as French goes. It's
totally not what I meant, but okay.
Anyway,
let's take a quick look at who we got today.
Let's take a look at our picks. So, Omelette au Fromage sporting a Penny Coco Scoldier team makeup.
Woo,
In Arms We Die. You're so deep we can't see you, but you've also got a Scoop, a Ted, and a Scoldier. That's
the big
very
team.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking here. Oath has a very strong, balanced kind of team. It's aggressive, absolutely. Not a lot of defense.
Just call Penny balanced. A lot of people would disagree with you.
I meant balanced in a different sense, in that they have push, they have gank, and they've got the ability to zone as well. They're a very flexible team makeup, is what I'm getting at. They have the option to go in a bunch of different varieties, but they are primarily aggressive and don't have a lot of defensive options aside from run away with Blaze. In Arms We Die, they've got a very tanky team. Decent amount of damage, but if the Ted goes down, their damage drops fairly drastically. So they're going to have to rely on the Ted staying alive and the Scoldier to really make work happen here.
The Scoop and the Scoldiers have bigger character models, which means that Penny Fox and her orbs and everything that she can bring to the table, easier to hit. Cocoa Balls, easier to hit because it's harder to dodge, especially in that bottom lane.
Oh, yeah.
This could not work out whatsoever for In Arms We Die, and they might actually just die in their arms. But at the same time, if we get some throws off here into some CCs, airstrikes, machine guns, shotguns, that kind of thing, Oath, they're squish. If Penny gets caught out without an escape, she's going to drop.
Yep.
We're going to get a fox coat there. If Coco gets caught, well, she's going to go back to the drawing board. If Scoldier gets caught, body blocking is also a big option there as well because he's a bigger guy.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter that he's a bigger guy. The entire other team is made of bigger guys. They could body block a Clunk or a Dust
You ever see
Knight.
the World Championships of belly bouncing?
Yeah, no, this is the World Champion. This is going to be the belly bouncing World Championships. The other thing to keep in mind is that Oath has a serious weakness to snares, and we've got 2 of them. Let's see, between snare quakes and hammers. So
I like both teams, but I'm hesitant to say that the draft has actually gone one way or another. We'll have to see how they play.
Yeah, it's going to entirely depend on the aggressiveness of one team and whether or not that aggressiveness pays off. So as we go into this game, we're going to see who's playing on what. So Omelette au Fromage being played by Super Fifu. On Penny, we've got Sunaku playing your Penny here. And then on your Scoldier, we got L'Homme Pigeon, so the human pigeon. On the blue team, Scoop being played by the ProCraft 20. Ted being played by 724 Hades, and finally Scoldier being played by Brewstash.
The Brewstash.
I still like L'Homme Pigeon.
L'Homme Pigeon. There's a Steam game out there where it's literally a dating sim for pigeons.
Well, that might be a problem here because there's no romance involved. Brewstash going down to Sunaku in a very aggressive fashion. Bloodlust for the red team. Omelette au Fromage starting strong and taking this aggressive lineup to the level that it needs to be played. Without that aggressive lineup being as aggressive as it is, though, they will collapse. So they have to keep up this level of aggression the entire time. They can't let up at any point, and if they do, it might give the other team enough room to really tank up.
Well, this is a really good pickup there from Oath because they saw that there's a Scoldier down there, or maybe they actually didn't see, but they suspected. And again, bigger character models, smaller hallways. That was a really good time to actually pick up that early first blood there from the Scoldier. And he had the damage amplification on top of him, and then one swipe there from the Penny Fox was able to seal the deal. Now, that throw right there didn't do Blue any kind of favors. In Arms We Die. That is actually a better throw, but there's a lack of follow-up because Ted's not up here.
Yeah, no Ted. Brustache might go down to a well-placed pulse, but no, not this time. He's going to end up surviving. But now the other two members of the red team taking a lot of damage. I'm guessing that the Scoop had something to say about all that, and as did the Ted with a well-placed airstrike. So the red team going to have to go back and heal for the most part. Blue team now have a little bit of room to work with as they try to make their presence felt, try to get some solar underneath their belts.
1-0 will remain the score for now. As I said, a little bit of farming is going to be needed. They do have to keep their lanes pushed out. Ted in a lane to keep up for the pushing. What did he go for items? Taking a quick look there. He only has the one.
So no airstrike. No airstrike out of the gate. That's a very powerful ability to miss out on as well. So he's just got machine gun, and now he's picked up airstrike.
I guess machine gun is like just the flavor of this qualifier, though, because we've seen repeatedly now machine gun Teds on stream.
Yeah, and it's one of those upgrades that you do kind of need. It's a mandatory one.
Oh, that was a big whiff there from Brustache.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brustache still looking for those openings, but not quite finding them. He's punching his way through a couple of whiffs. 724 almost going down to the penny as well, and now we've got the Procraft down here trying not to get caught out, but
that was actually good.
Yeah, good little hammer to stop Coco from getting too close. And that's going to be that. Coco's going to end up going home.
Yep, a little bit of a reset. Not a worries. So we're going to have to keep an eye on some of the shopping. One of the things that Coco has already after those base abilities, she went and got knockback.
Now, as you mentioned before, you have got big characters. Knockback ball, really good pickup against these characters who can't dodge a lightning ball at all, really.
Yeah. I mean, it can still definitely happen. The vertical space in the middle, definitely good. The top area here, but if you get stuck in that top area, you get stuck in the bottom, you get stuck on these transitions between jungles. Yeah, good work. Nice pickup, though, to the turret. MVP.
Yeah, turret MVP there, but a well-timed hammer as well to keep the penny in range of that turret. So, Brustache picking up his first big throw that he needed. Lone Pigeon taking an Earthquake and an Airstrike and a couple punches. Down he goes. Now Super Fifu taking a ton of damage as well. That shotgun going to go ahead and force him to pick up all the creeps in the jungle before going home. So now it's 1-2. The blue team now picking up the lead in this game. 4 minutes in. So we got Heel Punch being picked up by the Red Skull Deer, currently on his way down. Herring Snack Badge being picked up by the Penny Fox. And now we've got regen on Brustache. So Brustache now also going home, so he's probably going to pick up something else when he's back there. Yep, there we go. Power Briefs in the other rank of regen. So now he's got damage on that throw.
Double regen should hopefully keep him in the fight a lot longer, especially if he can actually dodge out a lot of the spurs. If he takes a few licks here and there or he goes up against the tower, that's fine. Double regen will come out nice and big for him. That's actually going to be a nice toss there into the Super FIFA, but we already used the hammer from our Scoop players. So that's going to be an invis Coco who should just be able to dodge her way out of everything because, once you lose out, once you hit her, you got those damage numbers. Once you miss her, yeah, she's probably gone.
Yeah, she was looking for maybe an opportunity to get off a well-placed knockback ball, which is how that fight started off. She tried to go for a knockback ball, but it ended up missing entirely, and then they dropped in from above and just threw her into a nasty situation. A couple of punches coming out. Brustache maybe looking to do some more, but he's going to bounce out of there as soon as he sees Sunaku come up.
So, more hammer pressure coming into the top. Ted's now going to be into the top. That's going to be a throw there on top of the Penny Fox. He didn't actually use the platform to go down. Will actually pounce out, though, but in the crossfire, Super FIFO is actually going to be the one to drop. And nobody can actually hit the Fox from behind turret, so she's going to be safe and away. Lone Pigeon is going to be now defending the top as he got Hades there defending, pushing in the bot.
Yeah, and Lone Pigeon almost ends up going down to another throw into Scoop combo, but Scoop still not doing a lot of damage. He needs a little bit more help before he can competently do enough to really earn those kills for sure. Scoldier's going to help as much as he possibly can. Like I said, he's now got power briefs. Interesting pickup over Gnomes, but I can see why you would want to pick it up. It's a guaranteed damage if you land that throw rather than Gnomes, which sometimes got forks. Yeah, Sunaku not having a good time of it, but neither is Lone Pigeon. Lone Pigeon is trying to go after Ted. He's going to find it, and he's taking a lot of damage in the meantime, though, so he's going to have to head back home. That's going to be enough out of him. Sunaku taking a punch, taking a throw, and Procraft wants to get that hammer. He's not going to end up finding it. They walk on the other side of the knockback ball so that way they don't end up getting killed instead. And now Brustache relying on his passive regen to keep him in the lanes, keep him throwing,
there you go,
punching and stuff. Super Fifu going to take a throw to the face, and now swords being very well applied. And despite the fact that Scoop doesn't do a lot of damage all at once, he can still kill you if he lands enough sword strikes, and that he did to pick up the 4th kill in the game. 4 in arms. We die. Omelette Fromage now sitting at 2 kills And things are looking really, really good so far for the blue team. Brustache has been nailing a lot more throws. Lone Pigeon taking a lot of damage as well. Everybody's trying to run away, but he's going to end up... Oh, wait, no, that hammer's going to pick up that second one instead, and Lone Pigeon is just barely going to get out of there. So we were talking about how Brustache was having a hard time landing these things. He was not having a good game. Now, blue team, pretty much solely on the back of these throws, doing a lot better than they were only 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, the throws have been pretty on point since we talked about it, so maybe we should talk about more things since he's improved. But one thing that I'm not approving of here, Super Fifu, on the back of all that, gets ball damage.
I guess relying on the idea that since he's facing really big, people, she can easily land those lightning balls. But like we mentioned before, it's difficult to justify it when it doesn't help you farm at all. Left click and Blaze able to do much more damage to creeps and help you farm much quicker. Like even tossing a little bit under 400 solar to get those 2 ranks of superconductor can do a lot to improve your farm.
It also helps with the zoning because these guys are big, but they're also melee.
Yep. And in this case, nope, going for the lightning ball. Knockback ball on its own, good idea, but I have to agree with you that the ball damage, it's a nice idea, but it's going to prove a very difficult to execute plan, as Super Fifu is already having trouble staying in these fights and getting the money that they want. And there we go, Lone Pigeon going to get picked off by a throw into the turret combo. Super Fifu now running for his life, taking a hammer in the meantime. So now 2-5.
Yeah, it's 5-2 here for In Arms We Die, which, again, day of misnomers. Maybe they're not going to die at all. But they're definitely not dying in arms, that's for sure. So 5-2. Good early game coming out here from Blue as they've been able to pick up a few more upgrades to their name. He's going to get some movement speed there from the Coco. But Penny, the Penny-Coco big burst combo doesn't really seem to be applied, at least more often than not. Like, every time we look at Sunoku, he's not chasing anyone. He's not going for a kill. He's running for his life.
Yeah, and he is trying to go for a Death Lens. Like that's the upgrade that he's recently picked up. He's also got 1 rank in pills to keep him alive a little bit longer alongside those boots. So Sunoku not going immediately for the burst. He is trying, but it's a long way coming. Super Fifu's got the same problem. Out comes the throw. We got Scoop trying to run away for his life. He's going to end up not getting punched there. Brustache going to go ahead and cover him, and that throw ending up not doing very much. One thing that I've noticed that could be, that I'm really kind of sad about, Super Fifu, every time that he's going in to get those knockback balls, it backfires. The blue team knows that it's coming or something, but it's just always on the wrong side of these players. Never where they want it to be for initiation. Out comes an airstrike. It's going to do some damage to Sunaku. Sunaku's going to run away now as fast as he can. Lone Pigeon going to eat a hammer, and that's going to be the end of that particular engagement, with Penny Fox having to head all the way home, and now the blue team have an opportunity to really establish some space, get some money, that kind of stuff.
So I'd like to see some zoning techniques being applied here by Omelette or Fromage. I mean, we got the blaze walls, get some slow on that. You have the Skoldir, get yourself some bigger earthquakes, get yourself some snare quakes, just like what we saw here from the blue Skoldir. So those would be some really good options in order to try to curb the big engages happening here from blue. I mean, we're getting off a lot of tosses, which have to happen, more or less in melee range. The hammer's coming out, not much you can do about, but if you do throw down, your counters, it's going to be very much more difficult to approach, your prey in that regard. So I'd like to start seeing some of that, because that could actually lead us into enough damage to then use your burst to get a kill. But right now it's just blue. They're keeping red at bay, and they're getting these kills every time red moves forward because we have those hammers, because we have those tosses.
Yeah, and you're entirely correct on all that. Honestly, there's a lack of coordination and a lack of damage to just make a lot of this magic happen on both of these comps. And red in particular, like you mentioned, their presence is not strong enough to really warrant them going for this aggressive build. And up on the top, Lone Pigeon's going to get picked off by a well-placed throw and some damage coming out of everybody else on the team.
It was 3-on-1. I mean, the other two ladies were in the bottom.
Yep. And what can a Skoldir do without his team this early in the game? He's got Heal Punch and Rubber Ducky. Like, he's not doing any damage.
The Heal Punch is a great idea for longevity, but it does not help Sunoku. It does not help Super Fifu. Using the float there from Penny to actually get out, that's a really good advantage that she has over top of those big fatties.
Absolutely. And I was about to say, like, if it wasn't for the fact that she could do that, Brustache would have made his own penny sandwich had that not been the case. But
Fox code. Yeah. Well,
Penny
back
sandwich.
to just kind of punching our way to victory. Brustache, he's going to be up, he's going to be down. They have landed some decent hits there on top of Red. Looks like actually somebody just went home from Red. It's going to be the Penny. So again, just losing out that map presence. Now, we haven't really seen a huge amount of machine gunning into turrets from the TED. I'm actually a little surprised that the turrets are still up. L'Ampigeon, though, is not getting out of that, but he is.
What? He should be so dead. But
I think they thought he was dead, and they're like, whatever, the Hammer got the kill. Go home happy. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I have to assume that's what happened there.
I have to assume as well. Sunaku taking a Snare Quake. He's going to eat the airstrike as well. Down he goes. Now the damage is starting to come out. The TED has all 3 damage upgrades for his machine gun and bindings. Now picking up some end result damage as well. L'Ampigeon taking some punches. He's going to end up going down to an airstrike and a shotgun and blast. My bad. So that's going to be a 2-for-0 pickoff in favor of In Arms We Die. So they're looking really good right now, managing to pick up all that stuff. So we're 2-8, 12 minutes, 30 seconds into this game.
That is the exact combo that is wrecking right now on top of Omelette Omelette au Fromage. So, you saw the Hammer, which stuns. You then approach with the Scoldier, throw him into the bindings. It's been working, and we just saw it in perfect clarity there. Well, he used it on a creep, but that is, you guys are wondering what's happening? That's happening. That is what's happening.
And although it's not dealing a lot of damage right now, it also works with Ted McPain's airstrikes. So let's not forget that is a thing. Although Brustache taking a lot of damage, the pounce, the left clicks, down he goes. But at what cost? It's going to be the cost of L'Ampigeon, and now there's a reconnecting happening here. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. Not what you want when you're behind. I mean, it's still something, and that's to be counted. That's something to be happy about. But it wasn't even the one with a killing spree. You really want to be aiming for the scoop right now because he's the one that's 4-0. He's the one that's worth a little bit of extra money.
Scoop 4-0. That's not something we see a lot.
No, he's just not dying, and bindings does get last hits. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of the farm, Blue Ted definitely leading the way, but then it's Red Penny, 60.
Really? Red Penny, he's doing well. Sunaku in terms of money, but it's
But again, this accentuates the problem. Coco's a fantastic farmer, but you go ball build, you're going to fall behind. In fact, the only person with less creep kills than her is actually the 2 people on blue. But again, they're going for the kills. They're going for the assists. Their money is still more than that of this Coco, more than that of this Penny.
Yeah, and to keep in mind, some of those droids are likely HP creeps, considering, how often they've had to go back home to do that. The blue team also picking up their own fair share of them, but right now, the creeps aren't the entire story, go figure. They never are, unfortunately. Sunaku taking a punch on the throw. He's going to pounce out. But now, 724 getting lightning balled. That could have been a very bad situation, but it just was not the follow-up on red team, and the entirety of the blue team's going to end up surviving.
Back again, They're not farming. They're not getting money. They're not doing their jungle. They're going back home. They're losing out on turret damage. They're losing out on map presence. Yeah, sure. Shopping sprees, although what did Scoop just pick up? 3 scoops of what?
3 scoops of pain. The damage upgrade on his hammer going to be very painful later on, but not in this case. Sunaku's going to end up picking up the kill instead. Brustache maybe now in a rough spot. He picks out the throw. The throw's not going to hit anybody, and now the blue team just going to bounce off of the red team and get on the way home. So now 4-9 in favor of IAWD. They're doing their best to try to keep their lead, and Brustache almost went in there for a throw punch combo, but no dice yet. Yeah.
Well, that was a very welcome kill there from Omelette au Fromage, although they are on the verge of losing out the top turret. There it goes. It is now going to be dead in the water. Scoldier is now just dropped here for blue. Oh, the hammer! The good old snipe damage hammer combo. Sunaku is now going to be taking a 17-second rest up in the great drop pod of the sky. 10-4. Good buddy, 10-4. But top turret is, as I said, down. That's more now solar in the pocket of blue. And if you look across the board, 500 advantage, 200 advantage, 200 advantage. I mean, you're looking at nearly 1,000 solar between these teams right now.
And a couple piggy banks we picked up later on in the game. L'Ampigeon, I'm going to pick one up to go into Rubber Ducky, and Boots and Snare Quake, and Penny picking it up as well.
There's 1,000 between him, and the team that is lower has double piggy bank.
Right, and they picked him up a little bit late as a catch-up thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the catch-up worked briefly for a second, but it's looking like it might be stopping to work.
That's the story in its own right there.
Right, yeah.
And again, I got to point out, farming numbers.
Yeah, farming numbers, but also the amount of damage that's about to come out with the bindings, the throw. L'Ampigeon going to end up going down as well. well-placed punches, and Earthquake Tick going to end up taking the last hit there. So now it's just Sunaku by himself dealing with an airstrike they just took, and now it's a penny sandwich. There's no floating when you're stuck in that area. That's going to be a 3-man white. Blue team now have a wide open floor with which to push any turret that they wish and make as much space as they want. So now they're all, a good chunk of them going to move on downstairs and go for this bottom turret. With the help of the TED, that should be a reality.
You know, we've seen only one match where a team got a big advantage early, took a turret, got a team wipe, took the next turret in the series instead of going down to the second tier 1, and then they pushed the core and they won. And that was Team Ion in a 4-minute win.
Yeah,
they went straight for the core. I'm a little surprised that we haven't been seeing more teams doing that. They've been spreading out the damage. You know, they take the one tier 2 tower, they go to the other lane, they take the other, instead of going for that open core early into the game. It's just a little surprising to me.
And well, it depends on how well the game's going. If you're doing exceptionally well, then yeah, you can end the game early, and that's maybe a mercy at that point. But in a game like this, where it's 17 minutes in, and yeah, you're in the lead, you're definitely winning right now. Out comes the Snare Quick, into the throw, into the binding, down goes Sunaku finally after Earthquake Ticks end up taking the last hit. Lone Pigeon take a hammer, almost a punch. Brewstash going to go ahead and back off at that point. Oh, out comes the throw. Never mind, no backup for you. Throw on throw action, but only one person had their team next to them. So that's going to be another double kill in favor of AAWD.
Synchronized gnome tossing. It's the big Skoldir sport.
I want Blue Dan here to be playing every time that happens. Just da da
so,
da da da.
Again, we split. There's 2 bottom, 1 blue top.
Yep. And in this case, they decide, you know what, we're not going to have any of that. We're going to go ahead and just punch the heck out of this thing. Out comes the Gnome. The Gnome's going to deal some more damage. They're going to wait on these creeps to come in. Penny's back, but, Lone Pigeon's still coming back as well, and he's their big initiation. He's the reason why these fights can even go their way right now. Sunaku, on his own, going to be unable to do very much, and he's just going to pick up some solar, and that's going to be the end of that.
With the score of 15-4, though, I mean, there's no question. IAWD is just really far ahead. They got the map presence, they got these kills, they're coming down, they're looking for these kills on top of Sunaku, and it's eventually going to pay off. She is ticking away, but she does have some health there. I don't think that was going to be a kill, even if they weren't. Even if those jungle creeps weren't there. But, almost 20 minutes in, Lone Pigeon has died a lot. 7 deaths to his name. Yeah. 5 now for the penny as well.
And that's largely because Skoldir on Skoldir action is always one of those things where if one person gets the throw, then the other.
This replay?
This replay is, well, I have a feeling that you're dealing with a French team versus a team that is not French.
Probably.
So, yeah, the great lag from across the pond is a problem always. And in this case, 5 to 16, and still in favor of IAWD, doing really well. And a couple of other items being picked up that are of importance. Brewstash picks up the Gnomes. You got Scoop, who's now picked up 3 scoops of pain with his immolation on bindings now. And max damage and pills now on the TED. So they are cementing that early game lead. They are trying to make sure that they stay ahead in terms of damage and in terms of HP. On the red team, we've got pills coming out on Coco. We've got damage coming out on the Pulse for Sunaku, who's finally back. And Skoldir, Lone Pigeon, now has range punch. He's so far behind because every time he tries to do something, Brewstash is there to make something happen as well. And
oh wow, that punch at the end.
Yeah, that punch at the end, just to make things worse.
You said he's very far behind. He's almost 700 solar behind. That's what, 3 to 4 items.
Yeah.
On average.
Oh, out comes a 3-man throw into 3-man bindings. That is a legendary wipeout
my goodness.
For the Procraft. This couldn't be an easy turret into lots of core damage, but that was brutal. 3-man throw. Couldn't get out of there. They took the known damage to go with it, and the bindings just deal the AoE damage that they needed in order to get a complete team wipe. That was an excellent kill. Like that is what their team is supposed to do once it's got the solar to do it.
That was it was great to see from AIWG. That was never anything you ever want to see from Omelette or Fromage.
No, and Omelette or Fromage is getting scrambled in this case. They are core down to about 1/3 of its life. Now the blue team having to back off. Brewstash at a very low amount of life. Sunaku aiming to maybe make that a kill, although she uses the charges for the pounce. Out comes the throw. Out comes the snare quick. He gets a punch. He's still alive. Super Fifu manages to pick up a kill, and so the Procraft goes down as well, but it doesn't matter.
The bots in the back!
The bots in the back end up getting the kill as the red team attempted to pick up a kill, and they did. They finally got the legendary scoop, and they finally got the extra solar for it. But to quote another person that we know, at what cost. Their base goes down. The end of Omelette au Fromage's beautiful, delicate way to the top of this qualifier.
Yeah, we cracked a few eggs on that one.
Yeah, though when IAWD came into this game, they knew that they were going to have to break a couple eggs to make this omelet work. And
either way, they win.
Scrambled.
They do not die. They do not die in arms today. They move on.
Well,
to the
they
round
died
of 16.
approximately 7 times at most.
But they're still going strong.
Yeah.
They're going to the next match, round of 16, which we will be returning with as we take a small break here. But round of 16, best of 3s, map striking. We are finally off of the chain of purples.
Having to do the purple level.
Oh, it's
we
still
don't
an
have
option,
to do it anymore.
but it is not guaranteed. So we might start seeing a little bit more of a mix-up of comps. We might start seeing some more map-specific comps. You know, Serona, Feed the Worm. Serona has really clean lines, a lot of vertical space to use there. Some flyers can definitely do some good work there. We could start seeing some bigger Leon plays with backdoors because of different alternate routes into the core. At the same time, we could also see Ribbit 4. Ribbit 4 definitely leads credence to a lot of Frog play, a lot of Leon play, a lot of Gnaw play. But you could also, make a good case for Yuri with the mines on the shaft. Derpel, Elevator Derpel, is definitely still something.
We have a lot of strategy just waiting to happen.
We do, sir.
There's so much we could talk about.
Yeah,
we
could. We could talk for days.
Time.
Talk for days. But we are going to advance this forward into the round of 16. So when we return, the first of our best of 3. The first one to be here on qualifier day number 4. Who will advance? 16 teams now out, 16 to advance, and we'll find out who's going to the round of 8 when we return.